Hello. Welcome back to another live session for the London session, second day of the trading week. I'm looking at a couple of pairs now for this session to potentially enter into the entry. I hope that you guys are ready for another big trading day coming up here on here together. We'll be starting this live session, and we can see the market was, after yesterday's move, it's on a pullback at the moment. Let's wait to see how the price is doing. We are on a trade at the moment on gold, which is basically running in profit, and I will be also discussing in depth about this trade. Here we are on a trade, and in this zone we have opened a position on gold, and also I'm going to explain later in this live session from this support level. This is the trade that I'm running on at the moment, just have been shared in the premium group with all of you to trade together. This is a great trading opportunity here now at the moment, as it is another trading day coming up with also quite a few high impact news that you need to understand, that the market might have a greater move today. As the first day of trading week yesterday, we see that there wasn't high impact news. Now today the market is potentially be having a bigger move here. So let's look at, first of all, on Xauusd, starting with gold, and also we'll be looking at other instrument as well. Now looking at here on gold, starting with the 1 hour chart here, that you can see the market initially dropped back below to this intraday support level, and from this support there is a bounce here. This is a bull market. I'm on a trade, and also I have shared the same trade in the premium group here on gold. This is the first trade of the day after yesterday's dollar yen successfully closed in profit. We now running another trade on gold, and let's wait to see how the market potentially be reacting to that level. This is the lower time frame price action on gold here, and if you look at the 1 minute chart, from this support level there is a bounce back to the upside here. Now this is, if you look at the 4 hour here, there is a break below to this 4 hour 20 EMA. The market has made its bounce back to the upside again. And if we look at the 5 minutes and the 1 minute chart, we will be combining the 15 minutes and the 1 minute chart here to see possible further additional entry. As we see that this is the 15 minutes price action, the market here from this support level there is a bounce back to the upside. And if we look at this market here, we can see that this is where there is a bounce here in that market, and here we can see the market slowly pushing back to the upside in the major direction of the trend. So here the most important part that you need to look at is the which way is the major direction of the trend. I hope that, guys, you are ready here. Mohammed, welcome back. And I would like to say that all members are here. Two things, guys. One is make sure you like this stream, and also say yes in the live chat when you're here. We begin another trading day and trading week now. What we can see here from this 1 hour support, there is a bounce back to the upside. Now the market has dropped to this key area, and the price again pushed back to the upside. As the long-term trend is up, we may see now a potentially another bounce back to the upside, or we could see again another wave of drop. Let's wait to see how the market is potentially evolving here. What I think, it might move little in a sideways with a potential bullish impulsive move here on the lower time frame. If you look at the 15 minutes, you can see that it's just pushing back to the upside here. And if we look at the long-term picture in this market, we can see the market is having this is a, if you look at the daily, it's a bull market. And this trade I'm running in the premium group as well, also have shared. If you guys also open the trade, I will give you an update as soon as I will be taking any profit taking any decision on this trade. It's still running in from this support level. This is a reversal trade from the key area of support here in this market. So let's look at another trading day coming up later. Also ISM service PMI news coming up. We will be also trading that one as well. First of all, here, as this market is currently having a bounce from here, where we can find our next entry or additional position that I'm going to look at here. Guys, you can see that this is a long-term bull market here. This is the 30 minutes price action. Also, the price is here. It's trying to push back to the upside to the major direction of the trend. So if we look at the 1 hour here, you can see the market has broken back below. This support is absolutely important because this is where you see this is the previous swing high, which is turning the previous resistance turn support here, and from this zone we can see the market is having a bounce back to the upside here. Now the major trend in this market is bullish. Guys, this is very important that always look at the bigger picture, which way the market is heading for long term. Now looking at the daily here, you can see this is the daily price action, where from this daily support level the market has made its move from this daily support back to the upside again. As if you look at the overall direction in this market, it's a bull market, right? So if you look at the daily overall market structure, we can see that from here, from this support level, this is a huge breakout. As you can see, I more often look at the daily time frame first to see the overall direction in this market. So looking at the overall direction, we can see from here also 10 and 20 may crossed over from each other, which is a long-term direction of the trend is bullish. And because the long-term direction of the trend is bullish, we can see the market potentially to bounce back to the upside is higher here. And this is what we are looking at. As if we look at the 5 minutes here, that you can see the lower time frame after this bigger trend directional bias to the upside on the lower time frame, whenever the market will prepare for an upside, that's where we need to look for an entry. So if you look at this 5 minutes, you can see there is a breakout from this zone, and that breakout has given this market potentially to trend back again to the upside to create a new higher high. So let's see that where we can find our next trading opportunity here, where you can find our next entry for this potential trend. And what I think, as you can see here, this is slowly pushing back to the upside again. We see that there is a downtrend has been locally started, and if the market going back again to the upside here, we might be able to see short-term sell. On the other hand, if we see the price again drop back to this order block, we will be looking for potential buy here in this market. Now, to see that where the market potentially be in the next few hours, let's look at the again 15 minutes chart here and the higher time frame. Now 15 minutes here, this is an important support where the market from this support level has got that bounce. And what I think here, we can expect the lower time frame move back to the upside in this market. So now where we can find our next entry, as the bigger picture here is bullish, we can expect this market to all right. So let's look at are you guys ready for this day? As you can see, all right, let's look at another trading day here, and the entry that we are looking at here is, if we look as local lower time frame, that means that 5 minutes and the 1 minute, we see that there is a downtrending move here in this market, and in that downtrend, the bigger picture here that we're looking at is bullish. So the market today, if you look at, this is the NFP move from the 1 hour, where 10 and 20 EMA crossed over from each other. Now as the 10 and 20 EMA crossed over from each other, we can see the market for the first time crossed that 20 EMA back below. These are very important point that we are looking at for this potential move here in this market. And for the first time, the market crossed that 1 hour 20 EMA, and as the market crossed this 1 hour 20 EMA, we can see that there is a reaction back to the upside, where we can expect this reaction. Now if we look at the trade that we have just opened on gold, what was the reason behind the trade? Let's look at here in this trade the potential reason for the trade, which is important to look at, that we are in fact looking at the trade that is this is the trade was sent out in the premium group with entry, stop loss at 3361.70, TP target set at 3373.70. Now the market is almost approaching near to the TP here from this level, as this is 4 hour support. Now if you look at the past year, you can see from this level there was a stronger bounce back to the upside here. Now in this move here, the market dropped to this today's daily low. If you look at, this is the daily low, and 4 hour chart, it was this was the previous session's low. Session's low is very important, and after the previous session's low, from here we can see the market has made its move back to the upside here. Now it's still pushing back to the upside. What we could see here now, the market to retest this session's high. See guys, where the point is now. If we look at this session's high here, this is the current session's high. What we could see, the market to go ahead and penetrate that session's high. If the market is going back up to this session's high here, which you can see locally it's in an uptrend, and if the market is going to cross that session's high, creating a new higher high, we might see that if the price reject from that session's high, after taking this profit, we may be able to find again another potential entry in this market. This is what we're looking at for these sessions here, that the market to show its hand here in this market. Let's wait to see where the price potentially be heading in this market. If you guys are, if you understand that how the market structure is created, this is where we are looking at in this market to show that where the price is potentially creating its structure. This is the level that we are looking at, and if you look at here, you can see it's slowly building up its pressure back to the upside to this resistance line, and if the market cross that high completely above, we will be looking into that zone that for potential entry after price action confirmation in this market. What do you think today gold is going to be? Do you think that it's going to be bullish or bearish? I'm putting a poll here. What's your view on gold here today? What's your view on gold today? Do you think that gold gonna be bullish or gold is going to be bearish? Share your thought and opinion for today's gold move. What do you think? It's gonna be breaking that high, crossing that high, or it's gonna continue to drop again? Do you think that gold is gonna be reversing or it's gonna continue to the major direction of the trend? It's hitting that nearly to the today's profit target, which is almost 54 profit target that we have set early today for gold to give us that potential move. As the market is heading back to the upside, we are nearing to the TP hit on gold. This is the trade that I'm running as well in the VIP community. We're running in profit at the moment, expecting it to bounce back up and then hit that level. That's where we are looking at. Guys, keep in mind that trading is all about understanding the right area to enter. See that this trade appeared just before I come on live on 5 minutes earlier, and we had to take that trade because it appeared. It's now nearly to hitting that 54 pip on this 53 pip to hit that TP. And once we see the market hitting that TP, right, so we are nearly to take profit target on this one. And once we secure that trade, I've closed in few pips earlier. We don't want to miss for 2-3 pips. So this trade I have closed with 52 pip profit target. Profit hit on gold. Secured profit on gold, and that's where now let's look at where we can find next potential entry in this market, as this market is in a stronger trend. That's where we have secured in this one. And if you look at this market, it is in fact in a stronger bullish trend here. So at the moment you can see the price has reached that level. This is the 1 hour chart. The market is nearly to cross that high. And the bigger picture from the 4 hour chart, that you can see the market is crossing that intraday resistance line. Now from this zone, what we could see here, that this market to again return back in the direction of the major trend. Now, if this, as this market reached that much higher to the upside, we could see now potentially cross that up and break that high. This is the intraday resistance line here on gold. And as this market is reaching that resistance line, if this price is breaking that high, we might be able to find a short-term selling opportunity once we see the market is in fact getting that rejection back below here. First, would like to see it crossing that high here. It's going back up that level and then breaking back below in this market. That's the key here, to look for the right area to enter the trade. And that's what we are looking at in this market to see potential trading opportunity. Again, another one to see. We are secured on gold in this session, and I'm going to share the profit here. It's still pushing back to the upside, and with this bounce back to the upside on gold, and let's wait to see that where the next potential entry. Okay, now let it cross above this level. you can see the market is crossing that high here, and once it break that high, this is the 4-hour level, you can see it's just breaking that liquidity zone. And once we see the market manage to break that high to the upside, if we see enough confirmation, we can look for an entry as soon as we see that the market is in fact crossing that high, and that's where we will be looking for further entry once we see the price is in fact showing a potential rejection in this area. So if you look at here, you can see it's getting that bounce here, and that bounce is crucially important to look at. The market is going back above, and see the price has just crossed that 4-hour level, and now this is where the 1-minute price action, the bulls is trying to break that high here, and we might see that the market is potentially creating a new higher high. So if the price going back up here, creating a new higher high, that's where we will be looking for a potential further entry in this market. Trading with the trend is the secret, guys. Trading with the trend is the most profitable trading system one can ever have to trade the market every day. Keep in mind, trading with the trend is very important. Are you guys with me? So you can see that here the market going down. I think still probability for potential upside here. Still possibility for an upside here. And as you can see, the market is in a still here there is a bounce, and the major trend here is up. So we still can't say that this market is going to be bearish. Instead, we are looking for a possible here a rejection. Okay, so as this is showing that stronger bullish impulse back to the upside here, if you look at it, you can see it crossed that high. Now 4-hour level, if you look at that, you can see this is the 4-hour resistance. From here it may continue to rise back to the upside, or we might see another wave of drop in this market. So if this market is dropping back here to this support level, okay, so if you look at here, if we see that rejection back below, we might see that this market to potentially come back here for another retest to this order block in that area. So the previous support is here in this 4-hour time frame. If we look at, right, so you can see this is the 4-hour candlestick pattern. We have seen there is a retest of this resistance. If you look at the 1-hour here, and also the 30 minutes candle closing in 9 seconds. So 30 minutes candle closed also one single big bounce back to this key level, which is also the 15 minutes bullish impulse. So in this market, we may be able to find a possible entry for a short term. Do you think that it's gonna be sell for short term in this market? What's your view on that? Share your thought. I think, as if you look at the major trend is up, and if you look at the daily, you can see the prices just crossed the daily high. So from the intraday, from the 4-hour, from this support level, you can see it's got the rejection back above, and the major trend is up. So if the market managed to return back again, that is where we are able to find a potential entry in this market. So looking at here, if you look at the 1 minute, you can see that this market is slowly trying to build up that pressure back to the upside. And if this market getting that rejection again, that's where we will be able to see that the market is dropping back below to that level, or we might see even maintaining this as an inverted head and shoulder continuing back to the upside to the to the major direction of the trend. So for us to enter for a short-term trade, what we need is a possibility for this potential drop here in this market. So looking at the 5 minutes and the 1 minute here, so getting some rejection from the 4-hour resistance. This is a very sharply bull market. From this level that we can see, the market has made its way back to the upside here. The possibility for a short-term drop is probable here, but at the same time we can see there is a stronger bounce back to the upside. We are on a buy on gold and that has closed. Now for us to find the next possible sell or buy, this is the 4-hour, and we still have almost 2.5 an hour for this 4-hour candle to close. And with this 1-hour price action, this market this hour was complete break back to the upside here. If you look at the 15 minutes also, you can see that it's a complete one single bounce back to the upside. Now if this move was a completely against the trend, if this move was a completely against the trend, that means that if this move was opposite direction of the trend, we could be looking for definitely a sell here on the 4-hour and 15-minute chart. So if you look at here, you can see this is the 4-hour resistance line where there is a bounce from this support, but the major trend is to the upside here. And because the major trend is to the upside, if you look at here, you can see that this is a major trend which is to the upside, right? Now if the major trend is upside, though we see there is a local downtrend, the market has got that rejection back above. There is a possibility to drop again here, but always remaining with the trend is the key here. So where we will be looking for an entry, let's wait to see that the possible entry area for us now at the moment. Where is the next entry? Let's go back to the 15-minute chart here and looking for a buy here. Where we will be looking for a buy, this 15 minutes candlestick pattern that you can see, it's a complete one single breakout. We need to see that 10 and 20 EMA crossed over. That confirms potentially a bullish trend confirmation here in this market. And with this 10 and 20 EMA crossed over from each other, giving this market a probability that the price to go ahead and hit that level. So let's wait to see how the market potentially be doing here. Please analyze Gbpjpy down or up. Thanks. All right, so Gbpjpy, anyone looking at GJ, or we will be looking at gold only? Can anyone share your thought? Gbpjpy, we will be going to that, but would like to see, do you guys want me to stay on gold or you want Gbpjpy as well? Here gold, we can see from here sharp bounce back to the upside. What's your thought on this instrument? So you see that gold was the vote. There were 14 votes. That shows that 79% bullish on gold, and that's pretty much that I would say. If you look at the 79%, traders think that gold is going to be bullish. Is in fact the major trend here is up, so very easily can identify that the market trend is bullish. So we will be looking also the bullish market structure here in this market. So that being said, if you look at here, you can see this is a lower time frame price action, and the lower time frame trend is showing that bullish. Okay, so if you look at here, you can see this is a bull market, and in this bullish market, if you look at that lower time frame here, showing that the movement to the upside here, and that time frame that you can see on the lower time frame, the market trend is bullish, and expecting it to potentially move back to the upside here. And because it's a long-term bull market, the price has just grabbed liquidity from this previous swing low here. And for us to find the next entry here is the previous support here. This is the 15 minutes, which is an important support level. Also, this is the previous resistance stance support here, which is a key area that you can see the market may show that here potential entry from this zone. So you can see it's pushing down for a pullback on the lower time frame and dropping to the 15 minutes low. Price is coming to an important support level here, just crossing that 15 minutes low, and here it's a breakup structure. We could look for short-term bullish. I guess ready for another entry. Now that move that we can see on XAUUSD is potentially showing that possibility to bounce back up here. This is the previous resistance here, which is an order block in this area, and so now if this market is potentially bouncing back to the upside for a new trend, we can look for a short-term bullish entry to this resistance line, or we might see the price to drop again to the session's low. And here for a bullish entry, we need to see the market has dropped again to any of this important support level. If you look at the 1 hour, you can see that this market has made its initial bounce back to the upside, Do you think the market again dropping back to this support level from the intraday? This is the 4-hour support. And if the market drop to this support, then we can look for again another entry. Would like to see the market is dropping back again to this support level, which is the 4-hour support, which is an important level of support. And if this market dropping to this session's low, we definitely looking for a bullish entry, because we need to look for an entry where there is a high probability trade setup, where there is a high probability entry. I hope that guys you are enjoying the live session that I'm doing. If you are enjoying, make sure you give a thumbs up, like this stream, and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Grab the liquidity so it move up. I think this is where the market, if you look at here, you can see from this high cross that key level and then dropping back again. Now this is an order block here from the 4-hour that we saw. The market has bounced from this level and it bounced potentially back to the upside here. Now this is the level that I'm looking at. We are looking at for the market to retest again, as this is an order block. Order block is where the smart money traded, where the smart money bought this market, left this move back to the upside, and the market still can drop back again to that support. If the price is dropping back to this support here, this is an order block, and that will be a key level that we can look for possible buy to 3379 level. Now if you look at the 4-hour here, as I mentioned earlier, the major trend is up. So here our goal is to trade in the major direction of the trend from a key level of support. That's what we are looking at. If you look at the 4-hour chart here, that you can see this is an important 4-hour support, and this is the session's low as well, where the market has met the 10 EMA along with the previous swing high, which is the resistance turn support, and from this zone the market has made its move back to the upside in that market. So this is the 1-hour candlestick pattern, and if this 1-hour candle is closing, we still have another 2 more candle for the 4-hour close, and before that we might see the market is coming back here, tested that low, and then rejecting back to the upside to the major direction of the trend. And that's what we're waiting to see, that if the market in fact is moving to that level. Guys, keep in mind that entering from an important area of value is very important, because you want to see to enter, you want to enter from a very key area, from a very key level where in fact the market is showing proper trading opportunity, where the market is showing proper entry. So we're waiting to see that. You can see lower time frame, there is a bounce back to this the resistance line from the 4-hour, and it still can drop to that level. And if it drop to that level, you can see this is the 4-hour 10 EMA area. So in this level there is a 4-hour 10 EMA, and this 4-hour 10 EMA, since the crossover has not been tested yet, so if the market is dropping to that level, to this 4-hour 10 EMA, that's where we'll be able to see a very good trading opportunity here, and that's what we will be entering for another move potentially back to 3379 level. Are you with me? Say yes in the live chat if you are with me. Welcome. And Here is very important price action that we need to look for when we are entering into the trade is that the market, if you look at here, you can see that when the market is coming down here, this is the 5-minute chart that I'm looking at on gold. You see that if that drop is a single move back to this support level, if that drop is one continuous move back to this support level, that is the best entry. Keep in mind here, we need to look at not only the price action, but also how the price action has moved. It's not only the price action, also how the market has moved to that level. You know, I more often get question, okay, is the price will go up from here or is the price will go down from there? No one ever will be able to tell you if the price will go up or down from here. The only thing that you know that after you see that the market is moved, then you will be able to see that in fact the price has moved. So then what is the indicator? How you can understand that the market in fact might or will bounce or break the support or resistance? The only way you know for sure, no one will be able to know it exactly, but when you see that, especially the bigger ATR candle to a key level of support or resistance, that's where you will see the market in fact prepared for that another move. So if you look at this 5 minutes, you can see it's a complete potential bounce back to this support. This is the 30 minutes as well. If it coming back below here with one single move, okay, so from here coming back here with one single move, that is where we are looking for entry. We want to see that one continuous move to key level. You don't have to, you know, add too many confluences where that might confuse you over the long term. The only confluence that you need is trend, and that's why I said more often there are 3 secrets in the market. You know, there are 3 secrets in this universe, right? As Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. If you want to know the secret of the market, think in terms of market structure, liquidity, and price action. So the market structure will give you the directional bias. Okay, so the major market structure, for example, in this market here is bullish. So you know that this market is bullish. The next thing that you need to look at is the liquidity. Okay, which way the smart money is trading the market, and the liquidity you will find from where the market is grabbing that liquidity, which way the price is potentially preparing for a move. So once you see the market grabbing the liquidity from one direction, most likely you'll see the market is move the other direction. So when the price grab liquidity, you'll see that more often the price grab liquidity from both direction, from support and also from resistance. But the most important part here is to look at, is the liquidity grab from the to move in the major direction of the trend. That means if the market is in an uptrend, is the price grabbing the liquidity from the support? If yes, that is where the smart money is trading this market in that area. And then wait for the price action to show you that yes, this market is potentially ready for another move. Now what do you see here? This is liquidity gap. This is the previous support, right? We can see the previous session's low here. We saw this move back to the upside, break below, and then form this double bottom, right? That is liquidity gap. Okay, now that liquidity gap, because an overextension is liquidity gap. Overextension is where the market prepared for this move, and when there is a liquidity gap, okay, that's where the price potentially prepared for a bounce. Now major trend here is bullish, right? So you can see that the daily chart, if you look at the daily trend is very important. You see that it's a bull market, because daily trend, if you look at here again, you can see it's a bullish market structure. Because daily trend is bullish, all right, because daily trend is bullish, this market is potentially bouncing back to the upside here. And if you look at the 15 minutes here, you can see that it's again moving in the same way. So the price extended to the support and then rejected back again to the major direction of the trend. Now currently we can see the price again pushing back to the same support level. Now this time, because this market again coming to the 4-hour support to this important level. Now this time in this 15-minute chart that we are looking at, the market may break that low or may not break that low, because it's already tested the low. So once the market will be here, it might just test this liquidity candle, which is a very important narrow red candle, which is a liquidity zone. The price just tested previous resistance, turn support, and may bounce back to the upside. So that's a very good area for us. For doesn't mean that very good means that we're gonna take a bigger risk. Here we will be looking for comparatively better entry, because in trading this is what we need to look at, that we will be looking for the better entry. Okay, so as this is the previous resistance, which is turning support here, and that resistance turn support, we will be looking for that potential entry back to the upside in this market. So looking at here on the 15-minute chart, the market from this high slowly pushing back here, and what we can expect here, a potential an inverted head and shoulder dropping to that level and then to return back again to the major direction of the trend. So observing the price action on the 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 1 minute, it is always a best idea is to look at the multi-time frame. When you look at the multi-time frame, you know that you are in fact trading with the bigger picture. When you trade based on bigger picture, you start to see the market in a completely different way. That's why very important to look at, to see the market structure from the bigger picture perspective, looking at higher time frame and then looking at the lower time frame. So higher time frame is for the direction of the trend, and then the lower time frame is for the entry criteria. Okay, so we will be entering on the lower time frame, but we will be looking at the higher time frame. That's where the best way to trade the market. So this is a key level here on gold, and from the bigger picture and also from the smaller picture perspective here, also another very important aspect is to fuse the trend. So what do I mean by fusing the trend. So if you look at the trend, you'll see that lower time frame will have one trend, higher time frame will have another trend. So you may see that the market is on the higher time frame bullish, while on the lower time frame bearish. So we only will be looking for a market that is in the direction of the trend. Euro USD. Euro USD will be looking to that here. We are waiting for an entry on Xauusd. Are you guys looking at any other currency? Gbpjpy and Euro USD. First, we are looking at here on gold, and then we will be looking at the currency. As here we can see that gold in fact in a zone where we can expect an entry from this important support level to the major direction of the trend. And 4 hour support that we can see from this zone, the price potentially, if we look at the intraday time frame, this support is very important to look at when we are looking for the intraday entry. Now, attention is very important, especially when we are looking for an entry as the plan. If we have a plan for entry, we need to look for the market to show that level and waiting for the market to come back to that level and then executing the plan, the trade according to the plan. Now, this 4 hour support that we can see from the intraday, this is the level that I'm looking at for potential entry in this market. Once the market managed to drop back below, we are looking into the entry. Otherwise, we might see that if the price is not testing that level, we have to wait for a new market structure to be created in that area. So 5 minutes candle closing with a potentially a pullback to the upside here. Now, looking at again daily chart that we discussed, always refreshing the chart and then looking from the very fresh perspective to see, in fact, in relation to the higher time frame where the market is moving. Looking at the daily here, you can see from this daily support, this is the daily support where the market has made its move back to the upside here. And with this daily move, if we look at here, you can see that this is the daily directional bias here, which is bullish. Now, today's price, we have seen tested this high here and low is this. These are two important range, that today's low and high. Now, the market still can drop little further below to test this previous resistance and support, but still the market from the daily, if you look at here, 10 and 20 MA crossed over from each other, which is showing that bullish pattern here in this market. So looking at the, again coming to the 4 hour chart, from this high it's trying to push back again below here. When you look at a little wider area of the in the chart, when you look at the bigger picture from the 4 hour, you can see that this is the 4 hour support where the market is about to test this 10 EMA on the 4 hour time frame, which might test this 4 hour support and then reject back again to the upside here. Now 1 hour candle close, just in 1 minute earlier we can see the price closed with a green candle, long wick at the top, and that green candle, what we could see now, the market to pull back below to this 4 hour low for possible another entry here. Looking at the 4 hour here, this is the support where also there is 4 hour 10 EMA, and this market would like to see that it's dropping back here for before we find any entry. From the 5 minute chart, if you look at here, this is a move back to this resistance. I think highly likely we'll see a retest of this liquidity zone. As the major trend is up, we might see now this market to test this intraday 210 EMA and then to reject back again to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. Now finding an entry is important. Why? Because when we are looking at the market, when you're looking at bigger picture to look at, we need to look for a very key area for that entry opportunity. If you look at here, you can see this is a support here, just on resistance, and that drop potentially could come back here or to this level, and then we can look for another entry. This is where we have entered our first trade in that area. That was in fact bounced from this level. Here is the level that you can see from the 30 minutes as well. After break of this high, it's getting the rejection back below, potentially to test that low. We could look for a short-term sell here to this level. We're going to sell. For hour, getting the rejection. We're going to sell here. From the multi-time frame, 30 minutes, one single bounce back to the upside. getting the rejection back below here. Okay, so the 5 minutes price action that showing possibly to drop down here to this support, and from the 1 hour after cross of this high, it may try to break below here to this support level, and that drop that you can see, the market may potentially come back to this 4-hour 10 EMA, which is to this order block. The possibility to drop back below. Here is where you can see the market is slowly trying to pull back to that intraday. This is the 1 hour price action to this support potentially, and what I will be placing here a pending order, as if the market drop back below, we will be looking for this move, as this is a long-term bull market. Until you see the price has broken that swing low, we will be waiting for the market to restructure. If the market breaks this low here, we might see that the price to drop back to this order block. So it's gonna be a sell stop here. $3370.45. Stop loss we will be placing only few pip here, only 22 pip stop loss. At 3372.69, and TP target here at 3368.00. So this is the sell stop on Xauusd, which is if the market breaks this swing low, we are on the trade. If it breaks to the high, we will be closing the pending order. If it cross back our stop loss area before entry, we will exit the trade. We will not be entering into any position here. If the market goes back up here, we are not on the trade. We'll be looking at for another potential entry later. Getting back to the upside. Okay, so it may not break here at the moment. If you look at the 1 hour, it might go try to fill that wick from the upside here. So that's why we need to wait for the market to show the potential positioning. So I'm going out of this pending order. We'll be waiting for that suitable entry. Now here is slowly trying to push that back again. And if you look at the 15 minutes here, you can see that from this level, it's creating a couple of dodges in this area. And with those dodges, if we look at the 4 hour again, the market again going back up to this resistance line. We can see the market is slowly trying to move this price back to the upside. And we have out of this pending order. As to find an entry, what we need is proper price action confirmation. We see some rejection coming from the top. It's closing as a doji on the 5 minutes. And the doji that you can see here, candle close on the 15 minutes and on the 5 minutes. We might see the market to move little sideways as with the progression of the session. From the 4 hour chart that you can see, the price has formed this doji here, and with this 4 hour candle, the next zone that I'm going to look at, as we have secured one trade earlier on gold, the next zone that I'm going to look at here on the 4 hour 10 EMA, the market may slowly either move in a sideways or could suddenly drop back after break of this high. If the market drop to this 4 hour 10 EMA, we will be looking for bullish entry. Otherwise, observing the price action until the 4 hour close, and the price may range in that area and could remain a little more bearish until we see a hit of this level and then rejecting back to the upside. It's a long-term bull market, so the bias for long-term picture is still bullish. Coming up later today, as you know, that there is another news coming on ISM service PMI, which will be later in my zone. We will be trading in this live session. I'm coming on live again, guys. During the NY session, we'll be trading there together. Make sure you stick to that live session as well. Until that, stay well, stay happy. Any trade coming here also will be looking into entry in that area, and also I'm going to share in the group, so stay connected. I'll see you there again, trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.